John Calipari, Hall of Famer, beat Kansas, beat St. John's, got Texas Tech coming up this Thursday. Back on the show, back in the Sweet 16. Look who proved he could still coach. Congratulations there, John.
Thank you, Dan Patrick. That's the ugliest top I've seen in a while. It befits you though, so it's good.
Well, what's uglier, your sport coat from this weekend or
like that?
this?
Didn't you? You like that sport coat?
Hey, you won with it. It looks a whole lot better when you win. And this is a gift from Adam Sandler. This is
you're out hitting golf balls, but would you think it's in the bag to go this weekend? That sport coat? Yeah, it's in the bag.
Okay.
I'll travel with it.
Okay. All right. And when you're done with it, maybe you could send it to the man cave.
I will. I'll deliver it to the cabin in Maine.
Okay.
I'll hand deliver it.
Are you an underdog?
Yes. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, look, most of my career was shouldn't, wouldn't, can't, won't. I mean, we've been the underdog. You remember UMass. You came up and did some games. You went on the court, shot air balls, and, some of the stuff there. And the Memphis, the same thing. And, we had a pretty good run at Kentucky. And there was that 8-9 year period where, we were the one. But, most of my career, I've been that. And so I'm fine in that role. I'm comfortable in the role. I'm just trying to make sure my team is comfortable in that role.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, are you telling them it's nobody believed in us against the world? No? None of that?
No, I'm just saying we're the underdog.
Okay.
And every time they play in those kind of games, they play well. I think, look, we're at that point in the year. The whole thing is, how do I get them to have that mindset that we had against St. John's? Because, look, there's two things happened. We went 2 for 19 from the three and gave up 28 offensive rebounds, but still won. We played to win. Don't matter what happens. Doesn't matter they got a rebound. Just keep playing. And we keep them in that attitude and that mindset. It doesn't mean you're going to win, but it gives you a good chance to win.
How do you keep the relationship or whatever with Pitino out of going into a game, coaching a game, and making it about the game, that it's not about you against Rick?
If you went through the year we went through, when we were 0-5, when we were 1-6, and they said they got no chance of making the NCAA tournament, when you're playing games, you're not worried about the other coach. You're about survival. I wasn't worried about Matson with no chess game. I wasn't, he outcoached. I didn't care. It was about, let's just win, because what these kids went through, they deserved good to happen because they came together. They became one heartbeat. And, well, what did you do? What did I do? They knew if they didn't come together, they were going to lose every game. And they figured this, you know what? I'm so worried about myself. If I worry about the team more than myself, maybe it's easier. And they found out it was easier.
How do you balance coaching right now and the transfer portal all in the same week of preparing and transfer portal starts today?
Well, we yesterday was a kind of long day. Got a lot of film work done, got practice plans prepared, the staff meetings where we were doing everything. And then in the end, I said, all right, let's talk. Now, before you can figure out portal, don't you have to know who's coming back and who's leaving? So I don't know of anybody in these 16 teams that is sitting down with players and say, are you coming back? Or you can put your name in the portal? So it's just difficult right now. But we've got names and what I would say with anybody listening, if you want to get better, if you want to be challenged, if you want to really play with good players, be coached as though you've already gotten there, to be hugged and challenged and make you uncomfortable, then you come with me. You come to Arkansas. But right now, we're not on the phone with anybody yet. My staff may be. I shouldn't say that. My staff may be, but I'm not.
When will you be open or paying more attention to the portal yourself?
If there's a young man that we know is really, really good and he wants to do this and wants to talk to me, you won't believe this. I'd probably get on the phone with him and say, hey, let's do this. But short of that, it's probably mostly staff. You know, my hope is that we have a group. We have some guys that won't be back because they're graduated out or they're going to, put their name in the draft and all that. But there is another grouping of players who are really good that probably need more time, that we do that. We already have 3 guys, freshmen, signed. And I'm going to say this again, and I said it after. I'm still recruiting freshmen. I'll recruit the best freshmen. And as you saw last game, 3 of them played a lot of minutes. But I can't recruit 7 or 8 freshmen. So we got 1 more freshman we're trying to get. We've got 3. One that, they're all really good, okay? But we're trying to get 1 more. And then who comes back? And then probably a couple transfers. And that'll be our team.
Is the SEC a football conference or a basketball conference?
You're trying to get me in trouble? Last time I said something like that stuff, people went nuts. And then you find out that, they're investing in what they want. So I told our baseball coach, they were number 1 in the country, and right there, they're going to win a College World Series. Every game they played, every weekend, they knew they could win or lose. What about the football? You want to say Vandy? Well, we got Vandy. Yeah, go play Vandy. Go play them now. Well, we could play Mississippi. Yeah, go play Mississippi. Play Arkansas, Tennessee, and you get beat. I mean, that's what happens. Well, it's now basketball the same way. And it's top to bottom. Our bottom 2 teams would have finished in the top half of most leagues. They were that good. But they got into this league, and they started losing. It was like Oklahoma went 13-0, beat people, got in the league and couldn't win early. We were 0-5 to start. And I knew we weren't bad. Well, I wasn't sure. But we were 0-5. And we survived it, and now it looks as though, how many SEC teams are in the Sweet 16?
7.
I know you don't know. Ask your people.
7.
Okay.
Yeah. You underestimate me, and that's when you make a mistake.
I've always underestimated you.
Yes, you have. And
really
I've always overestimated you. Finish this. We will make the Final Four if
the other team doesn't make 23s.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, don't screw it up now. You got this far. You got to go further than Kentucky, don't you?
No, not worried about them. This is what's happened for us this season has been the most rewarding season. I've had seasons where we won more games and won national titles and Final Fours and Elite Eights. I've had all those. But what this team has been through to survive it, it's been as rewarding as any season. It talks a lot about the character of these kids, how they were raised, that they could withstand the onslaught. Dan, these kids, all of them, have pianos on their backs because of NIL. Well, they're paid. They should do this. And they're trying to live up to expectations. It's a piano. Families are involved more than ever before. Why? NIL. And then social media. And you know what the worst is for the kids? Talk radio. I mean, all that stuff is out there that they got to deal with. And then the expectations of winning. Pianos on their backs.
Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Danny. I need to know the cabin. Do you have a studio in the cabin in case you want to do it up there?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Do you let your guys come up and stay, or do they got to go to a hotel?
No, they don't get invited. It's like, right?
You're very selfish, but you know what's great? You've been consistent
Yes.
your whole life.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. John Calipari, Arkansas head coach.